journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vow to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today. New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today. New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today. New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates engage faculty, scouts, our online system or results levels reality of our top-notch physical and online in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to confirm that I'm both audible and visible before I start. Good evening, good evening. You could unmute your microphone and just say, yes, I can hear you, or just type in the chat, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So good evening, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. All right, so good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ayo Akerotimi, and I'm excited to be with you. I will be your host for tonight. Welcome to New Frontiers Learning webinar series, or what we call our Impact series. And tonight we are looking at how to crack the level 1 and 2 exams. So we've been doing this for about 15 years, and 2 of our finest candidates are on this call tonight, and we're excited to bring them in no particular order. Hello, Ushe. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hello, Ayo. Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. And hi, David.
Oh, thank you for having me. Good evening.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this for us, right? Anolali, thanks. I know you're at the background. We can have our screen now, and you can then pin all the speakers so that we can start, if that's easier for you. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for joining. If you know anyone who should be on this call, I think you should please send a message, reach out to them, send a link or something and let them join. It's absolutely free. They have nothing to lose joining tonight. We're going to be talking about very important stuff tonight, and I'm sure that you're going to, we're going to have a very great time. So I'll just take the profile of our speakers and I would get into it right away. All right, so Olali, you can take away the screen and then just pin the speakers and myself. Thank you very much. Okay, so whose profile first? Okay, ladies first. So let me go with Uche's profile.
I'm still here, Mr. Ayo. I think he's offline.
We probably lost him.
Yes, network issues, but he should be back shortly.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry. Just a bit of technical glitch. Can you still hear me? I'm audible right now. Okay, thank you.
We-
Yes, thank you. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I'll pick up from
There's a
where I-
background music or something
there's a
playing.
background music. Yes, so I'm actually sorry. I'm actually borrowing a space right now. I'll explain that to you later. But don't worry, it will be out of the way in no time. But can you hear me? That's what's important right now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear
Okay,
you.
excellent, good. Yeah. So so I was taking Uche's intimidating profile, right? That took off my device. So let me just pick up from there. Uche, really my so it's a C finance with the expert potential market, specializing in a wide range of areas, including fixed effects, money market, liquidity, currency trading. Uchenna is a member of the Financial Market Dealers Association of Nigeria, that's FMDA. She's a biochemistry graduate from the Abia State University. She holds the ACI dealership certificate as well. As a result of her passion for continuous learning, she is currently enrolled in the CFA Level 3 program. Uchenna's treasury career spans across several commercial banks, beginning at Sterling Bank PLC, where she spent 4 years working across different desks. Then Titan Trust Bank as one of the pioneer treasury staff. She had a brief stint at Sun Trust Bank Nigeria, and currently she is at the Union Bank of Nigeria, head of fixed income trading. With her experience in the financial sector, Uchenna, also known as the financial woman, is committed to helping millennials and young business owners improve their financial intelligence and manage their income and funds properly. An outstanding feature of her teachings is its rendition in Igbo language. Uchenna is the founder of Uche Speaks Finance, a public speaker, and a member of Toastmasters International. She enjoys speaking, reading, writing, teaching, traveling, meeting people, and photography. Uche, that was why my device froze. Right. Welcome, Uche. It's so nice to have you here from the days of level 1. Right?
Thank you so much. Yes.
I can't wait to hear your story tonight. And of course, David Samuel. David Samuel was class governor. That's not part of his profile, but I just mentioned that. So David Samuel is a first class graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, Economics Department. He's currently a level 2 candidate of the CFA program. David is a diligent, disciplined, and hardworking man with a sense of responsibility. He believes in teamwork when it comes to achieving goals. David's experience spans across investment banking, research, security trading, and currently he works as a money market trader in Stanbic IBTC Bank. So good evening, Mr. David. Welcome tonight.
Good evening once again, and thank you for having me, Mr. Ayo.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So it's good to have you, and we're excited to have everyone else here tonight. I'm confident that we'll have a very beautiful time together. So I'm going to jump right into it. Please bear with me for a while. The noise you can hear in my background is I'm borrowing my daughter's space for this session, so please just bear with me. But their session will soon be over, so we can continue. But I'll be as audible as possible so you can hear me. I'm confident that you can hear me. If you can't, please just flag it, then I'll let you know. And then I would repeat myself or something, right? All right, so we're still going to have a wonderful time tonight, irrespective. So please let's dive into it and let's have a good time. So I'd like to go straight into it tonight. And the first thing I want to ask is, let me start with Uche. Right. So you see, sometimes when you're during the course of this journey, when you're on this CFA journey, sometimes you could get to a point. It's possible to get to a point where you're asking yourself, who sent me work? Right? Why am I in this? Maybe then you can even justify it and say, I really don't even need this designation in my current role, right? You understand what I'm saying? Then even my boss doesn't have this designation. So I mean, why? Why you to be what's this role? Why career and not some?
Oh, thank you so. Good evening once again. Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be here to share my story. So I would start by saying that I didn't really opt for a career in finance. Like you read in my profile, I studied biochemistry, but one thing led to another, and here I am in banking, in finance, and all of it. So, but we are here and we have to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
Of course, for my CFA journey, it's not been easy. And I would say that my why in all of it is my quest for knowledge. And like I mentioned, I don't have a background in finance. So since I found myself here, I decided that if I'm going to succeed, of course, we all know knowledge is power. So it's actually my quest for knowledge. And truth be told, I'm not stopping here. This is more like my the starting point for me. In as much as I think I'm starting from the hard part, so I believe that the future is going to be easier and brighter. So I think that's my why. I'm actually a what you call a FICO. I love knowledge. So in my career, I realized that somehow I didn't really understand what I was doing. I'm good at my job per se, but what the fundamentals and all of that were a bit hazy for me. So in all, my strongest why in all of this is the quest for knowledge. Others follow. There are other things now, like the recognition. I've just been imagining that Uche Naihanacho CFA behind my name and all that. So all of that follow. But in all of this, my strongest why will be the quest for knowledge. The fact that by the time you're done with this program, you can confidently say that you understand what finance is all
Yeah.
about. Thank
Thank you very much, Uche. And one of the things, one of the other things that follow, whether you say it or not, is that when you are a charter holder, you make money now, so you make a lot of money. So it's the truth. So, I mean, whether you be able to buy a private jet immediately is not the conversation, but you make a lot of money because you trade money, right, and all that. So, and whatever it is, so that's so. I just wanted to put that out there because somebody is on the corner and say, "Are you just going to be reading?" So there's an end goal. But thank you, Uche. Very beautiful. Thank you. So David. So you have a background in economics, right? But again, sometimes it's not enough. It's not enough justification. The background. I mean, with the CFA program, the background doesn't even matter right now. So it's the real. So why finance for you?
Thank you for that question. I think my love for finance dated back to, secondary school when we used to do business studies then, and then the fact that I've just seen numbers, and I'm like, do people really make this kind of money for in life, or is just arbitrary? And my business study teachers then used to tell me that no, you can make such money. Companies make that money, and then they give bonuses and all. So and then my love for numbers also account for that, and the fact that then I think I used to have like good scores in my business studies, and then integrated science was one of the things I used to hate. I could not balance chemical equations, so I said no, this is not this is boundaries. I was economics and like because I had finance accounting, and that just that guides your way, and then of course that explains why I think I have some stellar performance while I was in the university in economics. And also I would also say economics is just relatable, right? And finance generally is relatable. The fact that you stay close to what is happening in your area, and then you can actually make decisions on the base of that. I think you can see your thinking in action. You can see what you are staying close with happening to you, and then you can actually make correct decision. So I think finance is just relatable for me. I'm not the very, very serious kind of person. So I don't think science is for me or anything medicine. But finance is relatable. You can flex it. You can understand it. You don't need to be cramming big jargons like medulla oblongata and the likes. So yeah, I think for me, that's what spurred my interest in finance.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. And I think that I think you were honest to be, and I'm glad that you figured it out very early in life. You see, The moment you can't balance chemical equations, you're going to have trouble the rest of that journey. Right? I'm sure Uche can attest. She's a graduate of biochemistry. If you can't balance simple chemical equations, you will have trouble. Or to just stick with your quick books, and the other things you're learning. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for that. I think it's clear. I'm able to change my device successfully now. So just a minute. Just a minute. I'm trying to take this out. Just a minute, please. I'm trying to take this out so that I will not be distracted or disturbed. Okay, good. So that's fine. Thank you very much for that. If you were able to if you've been able to find out your strong why, right? Then clearly, if you've been able to find out your strong why, then clearly I think you have sufficient, how do I put it now? You have sufficient stuff to get by. What I mean by that is you then have sufficient motivation, right? Because again, the real motivation for great stuff, for doing great stuff, it's not going to come from the external, if you understand what I mean. It's mostly going to come from within, right? So if you have found your strong why, then I think that you might be able to, survive. And that's to somebody on this call. You might need, I know you are itching to get the certification. I know you are trying to, you want to pass the exams. I know that you've seen people who are making waves and are succeeding in this finance sector, but you might honestly need to do an audit and make up your mind, reach a decision about why you are actually even trying to earn the designation, the CFA designation, right? And the moment you find that out, it will be easier, to pick up the journey. Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you, David, for that response. Now, let's get into it. I want to ask you what your biggest memories are, for level 1 and for level 2. What were your biggest memories? What was level 1 like for you? Happy to check about level 2, since level 3 is a level 3 right? So what were your biggest memories for level?
Okay, guess memories. I think the memory just, it's just that it makes me, CFA kind of humbled me, right? Made me know that it's not by what you know, it's not by first class. It's not that maybe I finished the first class, then CFA should be bread and butter for me. It's not. The memory is that the memory is that I was very, very consistent with reading. It made me to be consistent because when you have bulky, what was it called? Bulky syllabus, and then you have to read all through and understand, not just read to pass, but read to understand. And then the fact that you've completed a particular chapter, and then by the time you are going to another course, you've forgotten what you've read. And then you'll be like, but I read this thing, because it's a lot, right? And the memory, the striking memory to preparing for CFA was that you have to just be consistent about it. Keep reading, keep solving questions. You can't just say, no, you can't. If you are the type that cram and then you think, I can put everything in my head and then I will go and pass, it is very wrong. You will not be successful in this journey. I think you have to be very consistent. And then the memory is that you have to be the memory I took from level 1 is that if you want to succeed in this CFA journey, you have to be consistent, and then you have to have people around. You have to practice with people. You have to talk more with people. You cannot just doing it alone might not work here. I think going for less lectures, reaching out to people when you come across very new concepts and all also would help you, and then would hasten your success in the journey. So the memory I took out of it from level 1 is the fact that one has to be very consistent with reading, and then the discipline it gives. You can't just say you read today and then tomorrow you are off track, and then maybe you are visiting again 1 week after. That won't work. You have to be consistent, you have to be disciplined, and then you have to have people that are of the same like minds with you, and then with this you can be successful in the journey.
Thank you very much, David. So you had company, right? You had saying that being a first class graduate didn't even matter. It looks like the CFA exam as a way of leveling everybody. We used to say humorously at New Frontiers that this is the only finance exam where even when you are coming with a PhD, you won't get an exemption. You still have to start from level 1, right? So yeah, thank you very much. Those were quite some memories. I remembered you guys had, your class in particular, had a 100% goal, for class, where you guys were literally having late nights together and doing all sorts of things, right? It was quite a journey, for your class. Thank you very much, David. So Uche, over to you. What are your biggest memories? Yours is a double combo in level 1 and level 2. What's your story?
Okay. I think my biggest memory in this whole CFA journey will be my failure. So coincidentally, I wrote my very first CFA exam, level 1 exam, to May 16, 2023, 2 years ago. So, and unfortunately, that exam that I wrote exactly 2 years ago, I did not pass it. And actually, I know I wanted, but I thought I would. And yes, so when it came out and I passed, it was heartbreaking. I really think that was the most hurtful things that has ever happened to me. I was heartbroken, literally. I cried every day, morning and night for 1 month. I cried between June and July for 1 month. I did not want to see my face. I was so angry at myself. It was painful. I remembered the months of, studying, hard work and all, and just to know that I did not pass was very painful. But I don't know, somehow I found my way and I picked myself up and I attempted that exam 3 months after. And the rest of the story, I was able to pass it in November and then got into level 2, did it in August of 2024. And here I am as a level 3 candidate. So I think that was my biggest memory. And that's for level 1, of course. So I had that bittersweet memory. So I experienced the pain of not passing, and I remember when I saw the result when I finally passed, it just felt like I was on top of the world. I could achieve anything in this world because I always just saw CFA as something unreachable, because all this while you just see CFA charter holders and then you're like, wow. They felt like other superheroes. So just knowing that I passed it was amazing for me. And I continued. And I think for level 2 was a bit more comfortable. It wasn't as tense as level 1, maybe because I had passed it. So I knew that. And by the time I got to level 2, it was easy to know what worked and what did not work. So it was also easy. So it was a bit comfortable. I knew my strengths, I knew my weaknesses, and I capitalized on that. And it was able to, I think that helped me to scale through level 2. So level 2 was not so eventful, if I must be honest, but it was just, it was a bit of cruise for me and I had time. So it was a bit of cruise. But for level 2, I think my classmates were my biggest memories for level 2. I had a very special group of classmates in New Frontier. So that was also one of my biggest memories for level 2. So I think that would be my memories for level 1 and level 2.
Thank you very much, Uche. The failure story or the not passing story, I always say that the institute never uses the word failure. They tell a candidate that you did not pass, not you failed, right? So it's like you need to bring down your height to be able to pass through a certain barrier, right? So if you haven't limboed sufficiently, you will hit the bar and go back to right, till you have gotten the capacity to do that and pass, then you pass through, right? That's really the thing about it. And I remember, I remembered when you didn't pass the exams, but I also remembered when you passed the exams. There were two different Uches, right? And it was a beautiful experience. And I remember your level 2 class. I know that class in particular, very interesting class, right? And somehow we are beginning to talk about the things that help people succeed, during the course of the exams, because is beyond sitting down with your books to read. I personally believe in my interaction with candidates that people don't fail exams because they didn't read. Most of it would have candidates not read, but because it's strategic, you have to put it in life. You would need it, and that's what we're talking about tonight. It's the same way if you have been through any undergraduate program, which I assume most of you on this call have been through, you will understand there are courses that have 5 units assigned to them. Some had 4 units assigned to them. Some had 1 unit assigned to them. Now, you are not reading strategically if you are paying a same level of attention you are giving to a 5-unit course to a 1-unit course. It's not productive use of your time. It's not productive use of resources, if you understand what I mean by that. So right now, this is where we want to talk about the strategies. And I know you've thought through this very well, is to chronicle your journey, look at the milestone and say, at this point is where we want to begin to talk about what really helps a candidate pass this exam. And I'm excited. I think that, amidst all the negativity in our world today, I mean, it's even, if you are trying to beam any ray of hope anywhere and on anybody right now, on social media or anywhere, people will literally come for you. I mean, words like drag, hate, are now have found their way into vocabulary. It's now normal to be dragged, right? Irrespective of who it is. I mean, even if the person you are dragging is someone who has had more results than yourself, it's just kind of woke, right? It's just kind of the woke thing to do, in our days. However, I think that the best person to talk about anything is someone who has done it before, right? And that's why Uche and David will not even be on this call if they haven't tried their hands on it before. And I'm confident that the tips we will share tonight, I believe if a candidate takes it, then they can practically use them and engage them. And the reality is that it's going to be balanced tonight in terms of, and Uche can talk about what she think she did differently between failing and passing in level 1. And then there's also the dimension of how level 1 is entirely different from level 2. In fact, listening to you now, I can't wait to hear you speak, because you just said that you were more. I've had someone say, I think it was Mark Meldrum who said was that if you wiggle your way through level 1, level 2 will kill you. Those were his words, right? So if you say it's comfortable, then we want to know what made it comfortable, and how it worked, for you. So let's go tonight. And I want you to be as distinct as possible. Take your time. This is important. This is the most important part of tonight. As a candidate, what are the optimal strategies for passing the exam? So, David, you will speak about level 1 exams. Specifically, Uche, you will speak about level 1 and then level 2 with as much details as possible, right? So do we let David go first?
Uchi, why don't you want to go first? So I can steal from your strategy. But yeah, I think I would just say that everybody on this call is supposedly a graduate, right? And graduate. Yes. Can you write
requirement?
I'm still remember caveat. And then it means if you are writing, it's either you are a copper, you're serving, or you are working. At least you have 1 or 2 things you are doing aside CFA. And then that means you are kind of in a way distracted. Be it you are working, you're in the office and everything. And fine, while some people can be a lone ranger and still say they want to read on their own and pass for the CFA, if you believe in yourself, I would just say what works for me and what I think could work for anybody that sees it as something that is real, that see whatever I want to explain now as being realistic. So for me, I think number 1 thing is to enroll for for a tutorial like New Frontiers. I'm not here to advertise New Frontiers, right? It's something I've experienced. They are very dedicated to, ensuring that you pass the exam. I used to remember Ayo coming to our class almost every weekend, and then you'll be asking about us. How far have you gone? Where are you? Okay. What complaint do you have? This and that. All those checks and balances were very, 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 productive, and then were useful for the success we later achieved in the exam. And then, so aside enrolling for tutorial, so what tutorial do for you? Put you to checks, right? When you are in class, in New Frontiers, right? They give us questions, we solve questions, we play our hands on questions and all. And then when you see that, and then we do mocks, intermittent mocks and everything. And then when you do mock and then you see that you are actually below the class, you know that you are you're actually far off from passing the exam. And then class would, put you to check back, and then you would then have to catch up on where you're actually lagging behind, whatever course you scored so low on or whatever. So yeah, so class number one is actually a goal for me if you really want to really strategize in passing the exam. And then number two is have a timetable. You cannot do without having a timetable. And then at least in a day. So for me, I'm actually a trader. I close as late as 9 o'clock, sometimes at work. But then I struggle, but I make sure at least for this level one, in a day, I spend like 2 hours on my book. And then, so I have the timetable, I break it down in terms of the weightiness of the course, right? And then you know that in level one, of course, in level one, you have FSA 11 to 14%, taking care of 11 to 14% of the total questions in the exam. Equity is taking, ethics is taking 15 to 20%. That one is like the biggest in level one. You cannot even joke with equity. Ethics. It means you have to, and then for ethics, some people used to read Schweizer and the likes. I would advise that you don't read Schweizer for ethics. Fine, the lecturers are there in New Frontiers to break it down for you, but I think you should read curriculum for ethics. Once you read curriculum for ethics, and there are a lot of application questions in curriculum that you can actually relate with. If you treat all those questions in ethics, then you are good already, and that means you are 20% gone already for the exam. So ethics, you cannot joke with ethics in this exam. You have to be close to 99% in ethics. And if you can achieve that, then you're actually close to passing that exam. And then you have FSC 11 to 14%. And a lot of science people that have science background actually struggle with this. But trust me, let me let you know that even the engineering people are the ones that succeed more in finance than people that even have background in finance. So don't feel like I'm a barista, I did law or I did biochemistry, just like Uche is a good example here. I'm not sure Uche did financial accounting all through when she was in school. But then the fact that you have this mindset of I'm going to pass this thing and I'm going to read and pass it, you will pass. And then so FSA, and that's why you are also enrolling for class, right? Ask questions, keep on asking questions, and make sure you solve enough questions. So if you can actually strengthen yourself in the high-weighted courses like FSA, PM%, and do that. And timetable, to read, solve end of chapter questions. Make sure all your end of chapter questions, you try your hands on them. And then have a study group. Another thing that helped me was the fact that I had a study group, and then we were always meeting every night, as Mr. Ayo earlier said. We always meeting every night to solve questions, to rub minds together, and then the study group also put you to check. I don't know how, but then in a way, it's kind of competitive when you are in a study group and then someone is answering the question and you are just there and then you cannot provide answer. That will also in a way put you to check that, you know what, in the next study group, I want to be the one answering the whole questions. And then so even when you are distracted with work and everything, and then you are attending class, going for study group, you will be put to check, and then you always see that maybe you are lagging behind in terms of your timetable. You strategize again. You cannot have one single timetable throughout the period of the exam, right? Because you are not a machine. So I'm not expecting you to meet 100% of your timetable. It means sometimes you'll be lagging behind. You have all these events. Trust me, to me, someone advised me, and which is what I took. I canceled all Saturday and Sunday events, all the O1 base. You just have to give CFA is a jealous profession. It does not want you to, it's a girlfriend that you cannot double date. Do you understand? It does not want you to date another person than her till you finish the exam. So you have to, cancel other social activities and then ensure that you are just up to date with your exam. Do you understand? And another thing, I'm a very social person and I get easily distracted. Those are my own weakness. So what I did for myself was to make myself, when they were asking that who is going to be the class rep for the class, I said, I'm going to be the class rep. Because when you become a class, when you make yourself responsible, even the irresponsibility in you will leave you. Because when people start disturbing you that when are we having our class, and then you will become responsible by force. So make yourself responsible, give yourself some tasks that would attach you to that CFA, that will attach you to always being very close to your book. In your study group, you want to be the leader, or you want to, even if you don't have the opportunity to be the leader in your study group, you want to be the one to conduct every session you have, or most of the session you have, because there are a lot of distraction, work distraction, and the likes. I remember when I was going to write my level 1 exam, I was also preparing for my marriage on the 1st of March, and my exam was on the 15th of February. So, but the fact that I was able to take off wedding preparation, I told my wife, you will not be angry. For now, just take me out. I'm not, remember, just see yourself as being single. And, I was in New Frontiers every day reading my books and then doing, mock exams. And after you have actually prepared and it's just like a month to the exam, I would believe that you must solve at least, there's this extra mocks that they pay, that you can pay for, you have access to. You have access to 5 mocks. I think it's $399. Even if you don't have, what we did in our own class, maybe we should off the record, was to contribute money and then buy, so someone have access to it and everybody have access to it. It's not good, it's not ethical. Please don't remember that part of the explanation. But then just make sure you have access to that extra mock and make sure you treat everything, because trust me, you don't necessarily need to have to come across word for word questions in the exam, but trust me, when you solve enough mocks before your exam, at least 4 weeks to the exam, you will see similar questions. And if you can, once you start having 65% and above in your mock, trust me, you are close to pass exams than really that you pay. So you can, so just to wrap up, because of a lot of distractions, class is going to put you up to date. And then while attending classes, make yourself responsible in class. Give yourself some position of responsibility and be close to lecturers. Set up a timetable, a realistic timetable for yourself, at least in a day. Make sure you are reading at least 2 hours. Before you know it, you have actually covered enough. And then there's also the G factor. Pray to God. Pray. And I think with that, I think I will stop there for my boss, Uchenna, to take it up from there.
Thank you. I think your guy in the office I will leave. Thank you, David. That was quite elaborate. Apart from, go and buy your own mock. Everybody, go and buy your individual mock. Buy CFA Institute individual mock if you want to buy the premium one. Well done, David. Well done, David. Thank you. That was elaborate. And before I move to Iche, I'm not going to move to Iche until people start typing in the comment section something they have picked. Even me writing. I mean, even while you were talking, my notes are full. I am writing. My notes are full. Right. So, I mean, how much more someone is preparing for exam. So I want to be sure that you captured very important things before I say 1 or 2 things about what David has. Thank you for the reactions. Thank you for the claps. I like them. But beyond the claps, I want to hear what David has said. I need to be sure that you heard the things he said. And I think he mentioned some really powerful stuff. Those are very important. See, it's not rocket science. Is if you know someone who has done what you are trying to do, go after them and ask them how they did it. I mean, you wrote your exams in February. I mean, just this February. So you have one of the David is giving you the most recent insight, if there's anything like that, right? So it's the most recent insight. The other guys wrote. Our guys wrote yesterday and day before yesterday, right? Our May guys wrote yesterday and day before yesterday. and then after now it's going to be the August exam. So David is giving you the most recent tips. So yes, let's see. Let me see as many comments are here. Okay, so I see, Governor, we are proud of you. Of course, we are. Schedule your timetable and read at least 2 hours a day. Okay, thank you, Waris. Joy says be consistent with your studies. Abdul Jalil says at least 2 hours a day for study. Tailoring says very insightful. Chukudalu. I know you remember this one. Chukudalu, well done. I'll see you in class. CFA is a jealous lover. You have to give it attention. That's true. We should cancel weekend social events till we are done. Okay. CFA is a jealous girlfriend. Thanks for the insight. Odwamiwa says, put yourself out. Be active in class so that the responsibility keeps you woke. Yeah, that's where you should be woke, actually. Nunu says, join the study group. Daniel says, be responsible in class. Abdul Qadri, yes, the recording of this session will be on our YouTube page. Just search for New Frontiers Learning Center on YouTube, and it will be there after now. Abdul Samed says, walk in it. Thank you very much. So, right to our course. So, I hope I'm still live, please. Okay, can you still hear me, please? Excellent, good. So, having said that, it means you've captured most of the things that need to be said, from level one, tonight. So let's go for Uche. Uche, this floor, all the floor belongs to you now. All the floor, level one floor, level one did not pass floor, level one pass floor, then level two pass floor. You can even talk about level three candidature if you want. But I'm bringing you back for level three. I know you're going to pass the exam, so I'm bringing you back for level three. Everyone I've said that to on this call, they always come back. Right.
Yeah.
So so I'm bringing you back for level three. And of course, David, I'm bringing you back for level three. So don't worry. Just in case because the way you're looking at me, it's only you change that saying it to. Okay, I'm saying it. Bring you for level. Let's go.
Thank you. The bit is that it's hearing it's as if he has spoken. I need to say, like, we all have almost the same kind of experience per se. Like the tips, so I have to remove some of my own tips because he has already mentioned them. But just to, like you said, I have the floor, so let me try to use all of it. I think the first thing on my list would be discipline. Like he said, CFA is a very jealous profession, or I call it a jealous lover. You cannot be doing, like, you can, because of course we are all working, we have families, we have other things that we're doing, but if you're not like well vested into CFA, it might not be very easy for you. So I think discipline will be the first for me, because if you've registered for this exam and you have a date to write an exam, you just have to put your mind into it, taking all the discipline. Like one of the things David mentioned was he canceled all his social events. You must sacrifice something. You have to give up something for CFA. For me, someone like me, I gave up some of my church activities. Even my family is suffering. They've been suffering for 2 years plus now, because I just have to focus on CFA. So discipline is very important. Your timetable, you have to follow it, just like David has mentioned. Then the next one will be self-belief. You have to also believe in yourself that you can do it. So now for self-belief, which is also close to confidence, I'm going to also put a little bit of caveat, because there's a thin line between having self-belief and being overconfident. So CFA is not something you go in with an overconfidence. In fact, let me even use our CFA lingo. Overconfidence bias must not come into your CFA journey. Because the moment you start thinking that I have it, for example, you probably read economics, or you read finance, or anything, or maybe your job is, some of the things you're being taught in CFA is what you do at your job. But by the time you bring in the overconfidence bias, you might be having issues, because like Ayo mentioned earlier, you have to be strategic. It's not just about the fact that, oh, I read or I know it. It's not, CFA is not about who knows it and who doesn't. CFA is actually a kind of exam that anybody can pass. But at the same time, it's also an exam that anybody can fail it. So you have to be able to draw the line between being confident, believing in yourself that, yes, I can do this, and not being overconfident. So like I said, it was something I actually battled with when I went to level 2. Because like I said, I did not pass the first one and then I passed it on my second try. By the time I got into level 2, let me not lie, I was a bit confident that from the first day I got into level 2 class, maybe because I was able to crack the code, I saw what made me not to pass and what made me to pass. So it was easy for me to say, this is it. This is how to write a CFA exam. So I had to be battling that overconfidence bias. I had to be careful, I had to be careful because I knew that it's possible to fail. It also helped me to, maintain my head and know that you have to humble yourself. If you don't humble yourself, CFA will humble you. So you have to first of all humble yourself. Okay, so you have to believe in yourself, be confident that, yes, I can do this. People are doing it. There are a lot of CFA charter holders. So if people are doing it, everybody can. I feel like anybody can do it. Okay, if you have the time and you put in your, put in your mind to it and, give it your time, you'll be able to pass the CFA exam. Then the next one is curriculum, just like David mentioned. Although David mentioned that it was just for ethics, but for me, I think if you have the time, read the curriculum for all the topics, all the readings, because if you look at the exam questions, if I can remember the exam question, most of them, you will see that if you have an idea of an exam question and you go to the curriculum, you will see the question the way it is in the curriculum. Like, it's as if sometimes the curriculum, they don't even change it. They just take it word for word. So but unfortunately, curriculum is so huge, it's so big. So you have to read and read. And out of all the reading you will do, you see that you just how many questions. So imagine it's like a probability kind of test. You don't know where the exam questions will come from, but it's advisable because the curriculum gives you a broad understanding on that reading and start going to class. That everything kind of comes together. So curriculum is actually one of the things that made the difference for me between passing and not passing. Truthfully, when I did the first exam, I did not read curriculum at all. I went to class. I went to class, but I read Schweizer, but somehow I did not get a deeper understanding of what CFA is all about. And also because the reason why I did not also do that because I did not have enough time. So it was a bit tough for me to juggle it. So I kind of did a kind of cram work, and that kind of affected me. Although going for the class was even, I'm sure if I check my result, I didn't fail per se. It's just that I did not pass, So my result was good. It wasn't good enough to give me a pass because when I went to class, in fact, if not for the class, I'm sure I would have just failed. Maybe CFA would have written fail for me because it would have just been fail, the first time. But going for the class helped me to, okay, this is it. Because I wasn't even ready. I just entered CFA because I got a scholarship. So I just entered it and I started. And I didn't have time. I just did like 5 months. And I think that was not enough. So I think having enough time for your CFA is also one of the strategies. So it's not something you want to rush. It's something you should take your time. And that's why I think CFA advises 1 year. So you're writing every year if you're able to pass it. Okay. So the curriculum, very important. If something you should try and read for almost all the stuff. But for ethics, very important. Like even IFT videos, even I think Mark Meldrum will tell you, please read the curriculum for ethics. Very, very important. Then I've already mentioned it. And David, that was actually your first point. Going for lectures is more like, I don't know how to put it. It's not something you can overlook. And he said it rightly. There are people that have done this exam without having to go for classes. But out of 100, I'm not sure you can get more than 20 people or 15 people that can actually survive that. Some people are different. But I think if you have the opportunity going for classes for different reasons, the wealth of experience from the instructors, your classmates, and like David said, the sense of responsibility, you're seeing other people, you're seeing that community, you're seeing people, you're seeing your fellow, candidates. So you're not alone. We will cry together. We've cried together. We will laugh together. We'll pray together. We'll study together. So that togetherness also helps. It gives you, it just helps you know that, okay, I'm not in this alone, because the struggle is real. CFA is not easy at all. In fact, the 2 years I've done in CFA is more than all the studies I've done from primary, secondary, and university. Okay, it's very intense. So you need a kind of support group from the study center, from your classmates and all. So going for lectures, and even when you register for the lectures, it's important that you take the lectures seriously. Like, it's not something you joke about. Like, go for it like the way you attend university. In as much as it's not university where everything is by force in Nigerian universities, you yourself need to make it by force for yourself. So take your lectures seriously. And then I've mentioned support system, maybe like your study center, your fellow candidates, your friends. But it's important to have somebody that actually supports the journey for you. In my own case, that would be my husband and maybe my children and, maybe my siblings and all, because it's as if they want this for me more than I want it for myself. So having that support system, knowing that, oh, there are people that this CFA you're getting is important to, also helps. So you're not doing it just for yourself, you're doing it for, other people and all. So having a support system is important. People that can give you that chance. It can even be your boss at the office. It can be your colleague at the office. Somebody that supports this CFA for you. Very important. Then I've mentioned the overconfidence bias. And last but not the least, I'm not going to say G factor, I'm going to say the God factor. Because God is as if God has a hand in this CFA too. You have to pray. You have to believe in God. You have to be prayerful. And you have to have in connection to self-belief, there's something I call auto-suggestion. Like when I was writing my level 2 exam, I think from the time I registered for the class and registered for my exam, that was between January and August. Every single day, I'll tell myself, congratulations, Uche, on your, that first line that CFA writes for you when you pass your exam. I was saying it to myself every day. So meaning that is the only thing that will happen for me. There's no way for the other one. That one where they say we regret to. It's not for me. So it was congrats, dear Uchenna. I was always saying it. I think every morning I had a song that was saying congratulations. So I think the God factor is also very important. It's not something you can do on your own. You need your God that you serve to come through for you, to give you the strength. And then you need to identify your strengths and your weaknesses. I'm not a night person. I don't like reading at night. I can sleep once the day is dark, it's sleep for me. Okay, so I kind of maximize the day whenever. So you need to understand yourself, because in as much as it's the same journey, the journey is also personal to everybody. So you need to know what works for you and because like he mentioned, he said something about study groups. For me, I don't do well in study groups. I'm somebody that just wants to read. I want to read and be reading and be going. By the time I start doing study groups, talking, I feel like it draws me back. So you need to understand yourself, know what works for you and what does not work for you. Answer questions. You cannot miss questions though, because is the mocks, the practice questions are still the same things you see in the exam. So you need to be able to answer questions for each topic. Go to the end of chapter questions and read it. Make sure you can answer at least, I don't know how many percent, but make sure you're comfortable enough in all the questions. I think these are some of the tips and in quote strategies that worked for me that I think will work for any other CFA candidates. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you go, and thank you very much. I think yourself and David have done pretty well, and I'm sure our audience can confirm that. But before you go, let's do it. I want to ask you this: level 1, level 2, any difference? What specific differences in strategy application? So there are some general things: read curriculum for ethics, talk to people, have a support system. Those are foundational issues. They are pretty much generic, right? But they are basics that must happen. Else you'll be building your castle in the air. But then, because I'm using the illustration of a building, because when it comes to constructing a particular type of building, there are specialized skills, there are specialized approaches, right? There are specialized patterns. So if you're building an hospital, is different from when you're constructing a gas station, right? From when you're constructing a residential home, right? So there must be some things that are unique to level 2.
Okay.
Right. There must be things.
For level one is the foundation, and CFA does a good job at giving you that good foundation. So level one, you cannot miss out like all those definitions, those terms. They are very important because you're going to need them in your level 2 and in your level 3. So level 1 is a bit general, and that's why level 1 is really large. Like there's a lot of material because there's a lot of new terms they are also trying to introduce to the candidates. So level 1 is I wouldn't say anyone is easy per se, but level 1 is you see, like when you're reading it, you can see that is the words are a bit easy and you can still relate to them. But when you get to level 2, you now begin to see level 2 has a lot of calculations, but they kind of follow the same let's say standard, like everything just follows each other. It's the same. When you go to reading 1, reading 2, you can see how they start, beginning, middle, and then ending. So level 2 has a lot of calculation. So in level 2, you have to be ready to calculate because of course in level 3, we don't have a lot of calculations there, just the concepts that you need to be able to apply. So the difference between level 1 and level 2 for me is, for level 1 is a bit more generic, and you have to be able to and it's just for the exam question, is just a MCQ where you have just objective, maybe what is the meaning of what is this one? You have a lot of all that, or you just see this, then you see dash, and then you fill in the gap or whatever. But for level 2, you now begin to see your vignettes where you have the case study, and then you begin to now answer the questions in the case study. So my place is getting dark. I don't know why the light is not coming on, but sorry. I hope you can still see my face.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's the difference for me between level 1 and level 2. Level 2 is a bit more, is deeper, of course, and it's more technical, and there are a lot of calculations in level 2. Okay, so I think that's what I would say would be the difference between level 1 and level 2.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I think that you've addressed some major things. You know, David was talking about quite a lot, of course, and a lot tutorials to a timetable, right? To even a daily, you have to think. It's you make a habit out of this thing, right? You know, of touching it on a daily basis, right? Then there is the weight. You know, we're talking about reading strategically. There is the weight that it has. If you know that ethics carry, I mean, you both of you have been thoroughly profound about this ethics and curriculum thing. So if a candidate has been on this call and he has plans to use abridged materials or whatever it is trying to use, knows that when it comes to ethics, I'm going to give that to it. I mean, when an exam is saying 15 to 20% of questions are going to come from one area, you have to pay specific attention to what they are saying, to what the exam setters, have said, if you understand what I'm saying. Then he's also talked about applications, talked about study groups for himself, and how he counseled social. Somebody mentioned in the chat section and said we should not plan our wedding. But that we are not the one who said so. That one is left to you, right? Yeah. But then Uche has spoken more specifically about the overconfidence bias. And I think candidates
sorry. Let me cut in. Just to mention that my wife is on this call. I planned with her so that I'm not. I eat night food tonight.
Thank you. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Ma, for releasing him. We hope you are coming to class to start level 1. So that, or did you marry a charter?
Definitely, she's coming. She does not have a choice.
Yeah, so you guys can be on the journey together. It's easier when both of you are. She'll be your study partner by then. All right. Thank you. So again, like Uche had mentioned, the overconfidence bias. This is something that needs to be really talked about. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. See, I've seen a class where law grads straight from law school. Yes, David, it was you. I showed you an English grad, David, right? I had shown you an English grad that used to sit where you sit in class. English grad that passed level 1 exams. And there are chartered accountants that have not passed level 1. Right? Yeah, exactly. So there is, you cannot come like right? And you cannot, you can, even if you come as as you don't know as you are, you shouldn't live as you are. When you have been shown the way, you sit with it and get value from it. So the overconfidence bias is very, very important. She's talked about the support system. It's, you can't overemphasize that. It's the investments that go into taking the CFA exams is more than is beyond just how do I put it now? Is beyond um, um, it's beyond just financial investments and the investments of time and investment of resources. There is an emotional investment that goes into this exam. Uche, am I correct?
Very correct.
You have to
Very
invest
correct.
it is you have to see. There have been cases where I get to school, candidates are crying. As if, you can talk to us about anything. What's happening? Let's address this. Okay, if it's beyond me, I'll refer you to a charter holder, right? And they are more than happy to respond. I was talking to candidates one time about how you can reach out to our candidates, and a student just said, yes, just yesterday, look at my chat, 11:35. I sent this to so and so person, right? And this person is a senior who works with the central bank. And he says, I'm just dropping this message. Please, whenever you have the time. I said, don't worry, I'm awake now. We'll attend to you now at 11:35 p.m. Right? That's the selflessness, that comes with the work. There's a lot that goes into the journey. If you could travel the journey alone, then we will not be here talking to you tonight. You will need help. You will need help. And like I think Uche was thoroughly objective by saying that yes, if you have 100 people writing these exams, maybe only about 15 can claim that they read studied on their own because there is that information flying everywhere right now. And I think that is going to lengthen the journeys of some people. What will happen is that people will have covered miles. I mean, how candidates tell me about how would they go down, how would they things like that out there if you then get it. This is Sean, like an insurance of what you pay on your exam fees, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So if you are paying about 2 million or whatever it is that the exam cost right now, which you don't even have control over anyway, in terms of what's happening with the FX market, the rates, and whatever price the institute chooses to charge, for their exams, then you have to be able to secure it, by whatever means, to ensure that you pass that exam. And failing is not an option anymore, right? When it comes to the CFA exams and all that. And of course, she's mentioned, and David has also mentioned the God factor, the need for God's help. God is the fountain of knowledge, right? And the earlier you sought Him, the better, right? And of course, find your optimal time, understand yourself. If you've not been a night reader, you've not been nocturnal all your life, it's not going to work now. It's not going to work now. If you've never been a night reader all your life, 4 or 5 years in the university, maybe another 1 or 2 years in the MSc program. We have candidates who are doctors, who are PhD holders, maybe another 3 or 4 years in that, and you never survived as a night reader. It's not going to work, and you don't change your winning formula, right? You understand what works, you stick with it, and then you are able to, do the things that you need to do. Thank you very much, Uche and David. Then I think there's just one more question, which you have actually spoken to, but just to be more specific, right? Do you think New Frontiers plays any role in your journey, thus far? And in very specific ways, what would you say those journeys are? I mean, we've been able to support about 3,000 candidates in all this period, in all these years, and I think that the stories of those 3,000 people have some uniqueness, in each one of them. So it would be good to know: do you think what in what specific ways do you think being attending New Frontiers, has helped, on your journey in very, very specific ways? Maybe this one, Uche, should go first on this one.
Thank you again. Yes, I think New Frontiers for me, no CFA without New Frontiers for me. I don't know how I would have done it. In fact, the first day I got into New Frontiers, I knew that, oh yes, I need these people to survive, survive the CFA journey. So New Frontiers has been very instrumental, which is why I did level 1, level 2. And of course, even as in quote, a big girl, I call myself a CFA big girl now. I'm still here because I need my daddy, I need my mommy, New Frontier. So I don't even want to, should I start with the instructors we have there? For example, what we are sharing today, you can imagine a charter holder now sharing it for you every day, because this is what we hear almost every day. So some of the things we are saying here are things that our instructors have told us. So you learn from their wealth of experience, knowledge, both in the theory of the CFA and then the practical sense of it, because these are if you know the faculty people, these are great guys, like industry leaders who are sharing their experience. They've gone through this. So you're seeing different people telling you almost the same thing. So you'll be able to understand that, yes, these are the things I need to do. Then the support system, like I mentioned before, the just seeing that you're not alone in this is very important. And the ginger, David mentioned it. When you maybe they ask a question in class and you're looking, you don't know it, you'll be like, and let me waka come. So you ginger yourself, you tell yourself, no, see, people are doing this, then networking, of course, because like David said, all of us are graduates. So the minimum level you can see in the CFA class is probably a youth corper. So you're seeing people, you're seeing even your bosses, they're in the class. So there's that community, and then there's the networking. So you see a lot of people, which for me is maybe the last part of it, because that's not just what we are there for. But being new first, I mentioned your screen, can I help them before it's to become new from that I'm ready to do this. So we have their phone numbers, we have access to them at any point in time. You can call them anytime, you can ask them questions, and they are willing to explain. Like that derivatives, I don't know how people do it without instructors, because that thing is like jargon, it's like French. It's so funny, so, but the way they break it down, like I have derivatives class tomorrow morning, I'll be tomorrow after. I'm so excited because the one I've been is as if the one I've been reading. I need someone to come and maybe say it in Igbo for me so that I will understand it better. So that's what one of the values and the goodies that we get from being in New Frontiers. I think New Frontiers is specifically for CFA. So it's like a specialized institution for CFA. I think they do other things, but they are specialized for CFA. So everything CFA is there. In fact, when you're coming into CFA building, it just feels like it's cool. It feels like uni per se. So I think New Frontiers, which is NF, is been very instrumental for this CFA journey for a lot of people. And sometimes I wonder how they run the show, because I'm like, please, if people should not stop. Oh, let me finish my exam before if you want to do anything, because it's just as it's something I hope and believe that to keep going, because for people to write this exam in this Lagos, they definitely need to come to study center, and of course, which is New Frontier. So that would be it. New Frontier has been very instrumental to my journey and a lot of my friends that I know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you so much. Thank you. So David, let's hear you, because we're going to get into a session now. Then we take questions. Then we'll call it a night. So, for you, what would see New Frontier has mean to you on your journey?
I think going forward, when I want to attend the panel session, I'll always be the first person to talk, so that so that I would, I would always have something to say, and you not be like I'm just copying the person that first talked. But then
when
I
I'm
think
the one moderating that panel, you will be the last person to talk going forward. These are now your secret.
And then maybe I'll always be busy. But anyway, okay. I think I would say New Frontier is not just for CFA, it's for your career entirely. Trust me, the group page that we are on WhatsApp, from time to time, even after we had completed our exam, we still get, notifications of job openings and everything. So they just want to see you through excelling your career beyond CFA. So I think New Frontier is all encompassing. You have enrolled for CFA, and that's why you are in New Frontiers. But trust me, you have enrolled for career development. You have enrolled for, networking. You have enrolled for a lot of things that would be very advantageous to your success in finance generally. So the impact or the the influence of NF in your career can never be underestimated, right? And then the fact that the environment that New Frontiers give. I remember that most of the time I spent most of my reading time, when I took leave out of work, that was like 2 to 3 weeks to my exam. I was spending my whole day in New Frontiers, right? And then there are times whereby there will not be lights, and then they will turn on the generator. They just want to see you succeed, right? And then there's an event you can even I slept over in New Frontiers countless of times. Sometimes my wife would be like, I hope this guy is not going to go and say another woman somewhere, because it was now becoming something that I would be in New Frontiers reading. Sometimes you just come and you see me and you be like, wow, this place. So they allow you people to read overnight. Yes, they allow us. They want us to pass. They are not just after the money that you want to bring. Trust me, the money is actually compared to the advantages that you would get from New Frontiers, the money is minute. The network, meeting, and then all their lecturers are CFA certified. So you imagine someone who is CFA certified teaching you what you're actually preparing for. The first lecture, coachable them is no period. I have difficulties courses. I had to pattern the last even on WhatsApp, talking to them. From them, you pick up something. From them, you talk about something that is even different from CFA. From them, you get opportunity. From them, they'll be like, oh, okay. And these people work in reputable organizations. These lecturers too. Most of them, you have lecturers from Citibank, you have lecturers from, from different corporate blue chip organizations. And then so beyond CFA, beyond passing your CFA, I think in terms of your career generally, NF is actually very, very instrumental to one's the career development and then to passing your exam. I think I will leave it there.
Thank you very much, David, for that. By the way, have you picked your bike from school? Your bike, you left your bike for us. My guys have been riding your bike after your exam.
Please, so I will still need that bike. That bicycle, I will still need I will need it for level 2.
You better come and carry your bike or call Musa to help you keep your bike.
And then to the story about the bicycle, that bicycle, sometimes when I'm very tired, maybe in the midnight, like around 11, when I've read to 11, and then I will go and ride bicycle all through the whole of to Falomo, from Falomo to, and then you understand. So New Frontier is more like a home to you. It's just like home from home. Leaving my house, coming to New Frontiers, reading is the reading environment is actually conducive. Even to the gatemen, they are very, very, very approachable. They watch after you, after your things. Since I've been reading this, I've been going there. I've never heard anything about insecurity or any issue happening there. So I think, as I earlier said, NF is actually all encompassing. It's like a family, it's like your home. So maximize it to the fullest.
Thank you so much, David. But we've confiscated your bike also. You have to beg me so you can come and carry your bike. I mean, even
deduct the money from the level 2 lesson fee.
Even the registrar told me he was riding your bike in Vienna.
That bicycle is worth 200,000. So minus from my left fee.
No, we also apply depreciation. But well done. I mean, that's just to say how much it has become home, and family for you. Thank you very much. And I hope people on the call are learning. Now, I'm going to take your questions. But before I take your questions, I'm going to share something for just about 10 minutes, and I'm going to be very fast. For somebody who wants to understand the CFA exams for this year and next year, you need to get very important information about the CFA exams and how you and the exams connect. So, Olali, you can take the screen for share right now. So, and I'll give Uche and David about 10 minutes to grab water, grab coffee, so you can come back and take the questions from the audience, Then we can call it a wrap tonight. So let's take this 10 minutes for you while I would just make this presentation quickly and all that. Please confirm that you can see the slides and you can hear my voice. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's Ichi. Let me hear from 2 more people so I can be really sure.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. Thank you. That's good enough. Yeah, so this is the night. We've taken welcome and introductions. The interview, I just wrapped that up now. I want to tell you about cracking the exams for level 1 and 2. Then Olali, that was fast. Then I want to talk about then we're going to take question and answer. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you, Olali. So tonight, this is Abiodun Agbola. I spoke with Abiodun Agbola today. He's group head derivatives market at FMDQ, Securities Exchange Limited. He says I had a background in microbiology. By the way, he went to the same school as what's his name, David, Obafemi University. He has a background in microbiology, and making that switch to finance was a lot. He says New Frontiers Learning gave me that community and helped to really understand the CFA curriculum and make the switch that is required from microbiology to finance. Abiodun is one of our finest lecturers today in fixed income. I mean, I'm sure David will attest to that. All right. So let's move on really quick. Thank you. This is Oluwapelumi Fadola. Says I received my CFA chapter today, having passed the 3 levels of the CFA program at first attempt and met the requirements of the CFA Institute. It was quite a journey, and I'm really grateful for this milestone. Many thanks to the tutors at New Frontiers for the knowledge shared. This is a LinkedIn review. These are publicly verifiable reviews where you can reach out to the person. You can search for the names, search for the organizations, go on LinkedIn, you will find these reviews there. They were written out of the will of the people, right? If you add value, people will talk about it, right? And it is just what it is, right? So we thank God for that. So let's move on. Olali, please be fast. I don't want to spend more than 10 minutes on this. Thank you very much. So the CFA program the CFA itself is the #1 finance and investment designation globally. If you are going to work in the finance and investment space, then the CFA designation is crucial for you. If you earn any other designation or any other thing, you will eventually still come back years to come and want to earn this charter, right? So like Uche said, he says, I still have a lot of things to do. Continuous learning is important to me, but then I'm taking the most difficult one now out of the way so that it can be easier. It can be an easier journey. I think that's wisdom. I think that's really strategic. I personally think that tremendous value has been added tonight. I really enjoyed the session. Thank you, Uche, and thank you, David. Now, this exam is administered by the CFA Institute. You must know that for you to earn the charter, you must pass 3 levels of the exams and have at least 3 years of work experience. The exam is divided into 3 formats, right? 3 formats. No, I'm done. It's fine. Thank you. It's divided into 3 formats: the level 1 exams, the level 2 exams, and the level 3 exams. At level 1, you are taking multiple choice questions, just A, B, and C, A, B, and C, A, B, and C. Excuse me. In level 2, there are multiple choice questions, but now there are episodes, short episodes. We call them vignettes, right? Case studies to support them. Then, of course, the level 3, there are those short episodes you have in level 2 with multiple choice questions, but also those short episodes, the short case studies with essay responses where you actually write out, or now that it's computer-based, you type out the answers to your questions. Very, very important. The topic areas from ethics to financial statement analysis, quantitative methods, portfolio management and wealth planning, equity, fixed income, corporate issuers, derivatives, economics, and alternative investments. These are the topic areas. That's a summary of what you're going to learn. What are the exam dates? Level 1 is FMAN, February, May, August, and November. FMAN, February, May, August, and November. Level 2 is MAN, May, August, and November. The exams happen in May, August, and November for level 2, MAN. And of course, level 3, like that music note, FA, right, is February and August, right? February and August. So that's when the exam happens in a year. This information would help you plan for when you want to take your exams, and get ready. Now, that's the CFA exam. Now, let's talk about New Frontiers. What's our story? Our story is one born out of a compelling desire to help ease the journey of every CFA exam candidate in Nigeria, right? our founders went through this journey with little or no support of any kind, right? However, they made up their mind and vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate. I mean, they had no reasons. Excuse me. They had no support of any kind, little or no support of any kind, right? Those are the 15% who, or the 15 out of 100, which he was talking about, who studied on their own. However, they vowed to turn to reality the dream of every CFA candidate in Nigeria and globally, right? We have students all over the world right now. And that's to help them earn the prestigious CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, both finance and non-finance alike. Today, it's been 15 years of pursuing this vision. And we have our ambassadors in various markets of the world. I have teachers say they get to various places and they say, "Don't you recognize me? I was your student," right? Having done that to about 3,000 candidates, right, in various markets of the world. And we are calling on you today to join these thousands of candidates and professionals to grow your career, become a revolutionary in the market, become someone who adds value tremendously. And here our esteemed founders, Ayokunle Ojo CFA, Michael Anyima CFA, Banji Fentola CFA, and Olani Ogunbayo CFA. These are the people who are founders. Some of you probably know them. Some of you have seen some of them, with the great work that they do in the market. Why New Frontiers? We have one of our biggest assets, our biggest resources are teachers, right? A world-class faculty of leading investment professionals. We have highly intelligent people. What a candidate said one time is how difficult it is. It's difficult to find that number of intelligent people in this space, right? A lot of people approach us who want to teach, but we don't just take people. You have to have the competence, right? Years of experience so that you can teach practically. Knowing your stuff is one thing, but then passing it across is another. So it's important to us that anybody who will be a member of our faculty knows their stuff. They've passed the exams, they're CFA charter holders, they have years and years of experience, and then they have the capacity to pass it across to the people. And ultimately, the character to be selfless, to understand, having been a candidate or student themselves at some point, they must be able to also be able to put themselves in the shoe of candidates, give the emotional support, the academic support, and all of that support that they can give, to candidates. I mean, we are aware that they help with candidates' careers, their jobs, their work, and we don't even get to know about it because it's not important. We do not intend to micromanage that relationship. It's beautiful when we see our candidates and our faculty interact, and it's always gives back to tremendous results in their lives, in their careers, and ultimately in the exams as well. You are assigned a dedicated mentor at your level 1, and you are open to our entire faculty, so you can choose your mentor at some point. We have about 15 years already of experience and leadership in this space of the CFA tuition. We give scholarships, discounts, and special offers. There are class assignments. Right now, we have daily quizzes that we run and monthly tests and mock exams just to reinforce the classes, right? There is a no pass, no pay policy. Of course, terms and conditions apply. And there is a candidate support where we provide jobs and career opportunities. And this kind of impact series that we're running tonight, to our candidates. So this is why we talk New Frontiers. Okay, this is Busola Jeje. Busola Jeje is portfolio manager at Cowrywise, right? She says, "I'm happy to announce that I passed this August CFA Level 3 exam. My CFA journey has been filled with tears, caffeine, sleepless nights, and panic attacks, but I'm grateful to God that I finished all levels at one sitting. Particularly grateful for the solid knowledge learned, and now it has positively shaped my career. Special shout out to the Tutorial Center, New Frontiers Learning Center I used for all my levels and my tutors, Banji Fentola CFA, Michael Anyima CFA, Ayokunle Ojo CFA, Ayokunle Olubunmi CFA, and all of them, right? So that's another testimonial from verifiable one on LinkedIn. Our offerings, of course, we have a regular program, intensive and executive program. Our programs runs both as live and self-paced programs. However, we are talking more about the regular program tonight. So this is our calendar for the year. We just wrapped up our first level 1 and 2 program at the end of April, from January to April, because our program is a 16-weekend program. That just ended, the level 1 and 2 program, right? Regular program, that just ended this April. Then the level 3 program, which Uche is a part of, that, began in April, and we intend to wrap up in July. We're given an early start to our current program. Our level 1 program will start in June, right? Towards the end of June. And then we can get them to wrap up early before the November exams and February exams as well. That's for level 1 and 2. So that's the program you do right now. You start in June and wrap up sometime in October in preparation for the November 2025 exams and February 2026 exams. Our level 3 program is also ongoing. That will wrap up in July as well. Okay, so next thing. Yep. So yeah, this is something we introduced into our program. I remember David was a beneficiary of this. We have what we call an early start program, where before you even join the classes, you can have free 50-day access, to the program. And I want to advise that, well, if you're planning to come to New Frontiers, then take this benefit. It's free of charge. It costs you nothing to get on the early start 50 days program. Started on May 1st already. The interesting thing is, for someone who joined on May 1st, will have this, is going to enjoy this benefit, right? And for someone who is still going to join on the 1st of May, when the physical classes start itself, will still enjoy exactly the same benefit. So why not take advantage of it? You're going to have access to over 300 hours of CFA exam prep videos. All the exams have been sorted, all the tests. All end of chapter questions have been solved. You have access to tons and tons of questions, resources, question banks that you can use for your preparation and all that, right? All for 50 days. You can begin to reach out and connect with us, for this value that is absolutely free at no additional fee to you, right? So that began on the 1st of May. Yeah, move away from this one. I'm not talking about this tonight. That's our diaspora class, but this session is not for that. So our diet date, our classes are going to start on the 21st of June, which is a Saturday, 21st of June. If you're taking November exams, level 1 and 2 November exams, November 2025 or February 2026, then classes will begin for you on the 21st of June. It's going to end in October because of candidates writing exams in November. For those writing in February, which I think was what someone like David did, joined the classes, concluded in October, then took off November, December, January to prepare, right, for his exams that happened in February. So again, whatever strategy you've chosen, whether you want to go from classes to exam in November, you're covered, or you're still going to like to take about 3 months to consolidate, then this is the class for you. The only other program going on right now is the level 3 class. And just yesterday, Uche can attest to this, when the timetable was released and they saw the derivatives on the timetable, somebody put up a dancing smiley, right, and says, "I'm excited about derivatives class tomorrow." That is interesting. How what should be the toughest is what excites candidates, because it will be broken down in the simplest way you would understand and be able to read, right? So that's very important. So June 21st is when exams will start, but you don't need to wait till June 21st. You can begin to access the free early start materials now. Starting early, like Uche mentioned, is very important for passing the exams if you're going to do that. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Okay, so this is for Lashade Ogunbayo, CFA. She works with IFC, the World Bank Group. He says, the mock exams at New Frontiers Learning helped me a lot. The feedback was always a good tool to judge my preparation level to each phase. If you need a prep center, New Frontiers Learning Center is the place. It's unbelievable how many intelligent people you have in one place. That's from Folashade Ogunbayo, CFA, from the World Bank Group. So if you want to contact and reach out with us, these are our numbers to speak to Olawale or Mr. Isaka, our registrar. And of course, www.newfrontierslearning.com/enroll, www.newfrontierslearning.com/enroll, and then you can join us today. Of course, follow us on LinkedIn at New Frontiers Learning Center. On YouTube, we have a lot of videos like these ones that is holding tonight. It's holding live on YouTube as well, and it's being recorded there. You have it immediately after this session, it will be uploaded there. You can follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and there's free value, to be added, to be gained from all of this place. But if you're joining the program, these are the numbers to reach out to. That's the pay to enroll. If you go to that part of the website to enroll, I think Olali can also drop the link on the chat section of this Zoom, on the chat for Zoom. Then people can pick it up from there. You can just click on it and go and enroll. It's free to enroll. And then somebody on our team will reach out to you. You will get an email stating how the program will go, the values you will get, how to jump in and enroll. And next we'll say, see you in class, all right? See you in class. Okay. So thank you very much, Olali. So you can, let's bring back my people. David and Uche, you can please join us now. And now, if you then have questions, this is the time to begin to ask them. We'd like to take your questions now. Excuse me. Whether questions relating to the CFA, New Frontiers, whatever it is, you can use the raise your hand feature, or you can type in the chat section. I will check the chat now and begin to look at it one after the other. So welcome back, David and Uche. Hope you're able to grab a cup of coffee, cappuccino, water, and whatever it is, right? So welcome back. So this is what we will be bringing it close. Okay, so we'll take questions. I see someone's hand is raised. Okay, someone asked about when level 1 lectures for November exams would commence. I think you already were responded to. Yeah, Daniel, yeah, June. June 20. Okay, am I back now? Okay, I see Andres. It says Zoom user. Okay, you could please unmute your microphone and ask. The rest of us you can keep typing your question if you have, or raise your hand so we can take them. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Osarume.
Hi, Osarume.
I joined a bit late. Hi,
That's
I
fine.
joined a bit late, but I have a question. I don't know if it was previously answered. So, for the 50 days early prep videos that are available, do we need to be enrolled for the classes that are going to start in June to be able to access this one?
Yes, you need to be enrolled for June class.
All right.
So you can access it. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So I think Olali dropped the link to the enroll for the Okay. Okay, so are there any questions? We're willing to take them now. Any questions from anyone? Anything you need to clarify? Okay, I see Emmanuel, your hand is raised. Please, you could unmute your microphone and speak, please. Good evening, Emmanuel.
So good evening. Can you
Good
hear
evening,
me?
welcome. Absolutely, I can hear you, Emmanuel. How are you today?
Okay. Yeah, I'm very fine. Thank you. So my first time here and hearing CFA and quite a number of things is quite intriguing. And my question is more of like I would like to appreciate both speakers, David and Uchenna, actually including you, Mr.
Thank you.
Hayo.
Thank you, sir.
So for someone who is just like I'm just hearing CFA for the first time. So what are the what do you feel can be the necessary steps that needs to be taken, because you're just joining the class for the first time and you're seeing some, let me don't say some strange things, but I believe that it's going to be easy. But are there like some prep classes that can be structured, or I don't know, I believe you understand my question though.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
So are you just going in? So are you just going in into the classes, or there are certain tips that could just prep you or prep your mind in order to at least to be prepared for what you're going to see even during the classes? Just a question, though.
No, it's fine. It's good. I mean, there are no stupid questions at New Frontiers now, so it's valid. What you're asking is very valid, and I'll allow David and Uche respond from their experience. So I think David was part of our early start program. I remember very well, very proud there. So there was that for you. I'm sure that helped in a way. But really, if you ask me, we've supported about 3,000 candidates, over the years. There is really no need for a special um, um, pre-class, if you understand what I'm saying. The teachers will meet you at your level, right? They will meet you at your level. 16 weeks is a very long time. 16 weekends is a very long time. I don't think anybody spends that long time teaching the CFA program. Even our counterparts in America and in Canada, we charge $3,000 for classes. If you see anybody do by the fifth weekend, they are tired. They don't want to see your faces again, right? So do not worry. That's why that has been factored into the program. I believe that we are arguably, you have to verify this, check to verify. We are arguably the only program in the world where you can reach out to our faculty at no additional cost to you. Yes, so our global contemporaries would ask you to pay in dollars per hour for one-on-one consultation, right? We get that for free. So it's not, I understand what you're saying. It's like just like if you're going for an MBA and you have a pre-MBA kind of thing, right? But then when you watch those videos, you will see how simple they have been explained, right? When you join the early start program, you will see how that works. There is really no extra need for that. But I'll allow Uche and David speak to that. So Uche, let's have you. You're muted though.
Oh, sorry. So I was saying that just like you said, the instructors are there for you. And 16 weeks is a whole lot of is a long time. It's just about 4 months. And another thing is you also have to give yourself time. If you think that is not something you're ready to do, like you're not, like I mentioned when I first wrote it, I would have given myself enough time. I'm sure if I'd given myself time, it would have been easier for me, but I jumped into it. So you can just extend your time. It's also a personal journey. Some people might be able to do it in 6 months, some 8, some 1 year, some even do 1.5 years. So take your time, know how strong you are, like analyze your strengths and see how strong you are. That will give you you'll be able to know how much time you need to study. CFA is something everybody can pass. And yes, you might not have I don't know whether you're referring to having a personalized or special class, but with the classes, the general classes and, some questions you can get or some time you can get with the instructors, I think you're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you, okay. Yeah, David.
Okay. Can I talk now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah, to answer your question from my own side, Emmanuel, I would say you just need to be sane to write CFA. Once you can read and you can write, and then you follow the strategy of, being attentive in class. And then another thing I mentioned earlier was, the fact that you can also reach out to when you have concepts, not necessarily someone else dedicated to be taking you through it. No, you just need to be attentive in class. My teacher has said it already in class. I think for you now, some people, as Uchenna earlier said, that study group did not really work for her because she doesn't want anybody to take her back. But for you who you feel like it's actually a new terrain for you, I think being in study group also would also help you. And you can, because in study group, you have someone who will take you guys through, someone who has read at least beyond the class and, it's just saying, explaining what he or she has read. And then that will also, you just need to stay by the book. And as we earlier said, it's a jealous lover, and the closer you get to it, the better it is for you. You understand it better, and you can actually, you can marry the course better once you give it the attention it takes. So you just need more attention, be consistent. I believe at some point everybody heard about CFA at some point in their life. It's not that nobody knew about CFA from heaven. Do you understand? It's from this space, and then you then start giving it what it takes, attending class, joining study group for someone like you, and then, reaching out to lecturers when you come across tough concepts and you need explanation. So I think that would work.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much, David. Emmanuel, are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. All right. Aisha Keita is the answer. Let's have you.
Okay. Good evening, Uchenna and David and Aya and everyone at New Frontiers. My question is for Uchenna, because she has experienced some sort of, obstacles and has overcome them. So I would like to know what exactly, because I'm writing in August, and I would like to know what exactly it was that you did in year 2 that you didn't do in year 1 that caused your failure. And then my next question also is for David, who says that we need to put everything aside, and he was planning his wedding and things like that. So my question for him is, because I suffer from brain rot a lot. So like, you're just, what I'm just getting is, put all your time into CFA. So sometimes when you're reading, you just get to a point where you're just like, you know what, I need to take a break. So what, besides bike riding, for some of us that can't go out in the night, what else would you suggest? What else would you suggest? What's a safe alternative?
Is this a question you are shading me?
I'm not shading you. Because when you mentioned your bike riding, I was like, you're so lucky because you're a man. There's no way a woman will go out at that time of the night to go bike riding. But yes, my question for David is, what else would you suggest that would help, but still keep me in line with, my CFA, getting my CFA, staying on track? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Uche, please, let's have it.
Okay. Thank you, Aisha. I think after I wrote the first exam and I saw how the exam was structured, it now made me understand that, okay, I wasn't really getting it strategically. So one thing about CFA, like I mentioned, is the curriculum is very important. Within the 3 months, I had to now rewrite the exam. I went back and I started the curriculum again, or I started reading the curriculum. And then I also, if I'm going to be true to myself, when I wrote it the first time, I didn't give it the time it required. I thought it was a joke. Let me just say it. I thought it was a joke. I joked somehow, even though I wouldn't say I wasn't serious, but I thought it was something I could breeze through. So CFA is not something you just breeze through. You must, like we said already, if you don't humble yourself, if you don't give it the time it requires, it would, like David said, if you have to marry it well. Okay, so I now realize that it's not something you can breeze through. And even like you have to give it a lot, apart from the studies, apart from the lectures, you just have to keep studying and studying. It's as if at a point, it felt as if, I don't even know how we do it with our jobs, because it's as if you have to do this exam without a job. That's the only way you can pass. So I read the curriculum. I didn't read it the initial time. And then I dedicated time, like I stayed up before. When I wrote it the first time, I wasn't staying up at night. I told you that I don't like reading at night because I always feel sleepy. That was when I started taking coffee. So I had to start taking coffee because I have to stay awake. Like I have to read into the night or wake up in fact, no, read into the night is better for me because waking up is very hard for me. So I have to read into the night, stay awake. In fact, after the coffee, if the sleep comes, I take another one, because I needed to read. I needed to cover every single part of the curriculum. So, and then answering questions. When I wrote the first time, I wasn't able to answer all the questions. And there were some questions that I wasn't able to answer, and I just left it. But when I was writing, I made sure that for every question, even if I don't get it, I need to know why I did not get it and understand it by, revising it. So by the time I did my mock exam, I was able to, like David mentioned, I was not getting 70 and 80 and above. But the first time I wrote my mock, I'm not even sure I got up to 60. But I just felt, oh, okay, it's fine. I just noticed that wasn't that, I think the general point is that I felt I could breeze through it. But I realized after writing the exam or after the result came out that, no, you have to sit down, bend your head, and study and give it the time. If you know you want to write it, just give it the time. If you don't want to write it, don't write it. But the time you register, like I registered in January, I joined the class around April. By the time I started in January, I just knew that every other thing has to go one side, and it's CFA for me. So I think this was what made the difference for me. Thank you. Aisha,
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for that.
Okay, to your question that you directed to me, I think it's not a question, it's more of shading, but then anyway, because how will you hear that someone of my age is still riding bicycle in the midnight? But it's fine. But I think, so there's this, my friend that we're preparing for these exams together. And then he told me that at some point, there was a night we were reading, and then at some point he said, "Guy, what I'm reading is no more. I don't understand what I'm reading again. Oh, see, I'm tired." And I'm like, you know what? Close that book and go and sleep. And then he slept for like I think 9 hours. He slept. And then when he slept and woke up, he came back to it and he had a fresh memory, and he could take it and then he could understand. Trust me, is fine. We're saying give it your time, be consistent, read long hours. But once you see that you need sane mind and sane head to actually comprehend what you are reading. So when you see that you are reading and then maybe you are tired and your level of assimilation has reduced drastically, you need to just stop what you're doing. Either you go to sleep or you just find go and do what you like to do. Maybe it's play game. Trust me, you cannot come and kill yourself. Do you understand? So yes, you want to give it the best, you want to read for long hours. For me, and I'm not even exaggerating, I can read 8 hours at a stretch, I can read 10 hours at a stretch. But when I see that my assimilation capacity has reduced and I'm actually not really getting much, then I stop for that period. Is that I'm going to ride bicycle or I sleep, and I will sleep comfortably. And trust me, that my friend, relax. When it's time to relax, when your body will tell you now, right, that, I'm tired. And then you have to take a rest, take a deep breath, and a deep breath, and then continue again. So what is a jealous lover, but it doesn't tell you not to actually, prioritize your health, to prioritize your sanity too, right? It's just that you are consistent, you stay by the book. You can stay by the book and still, live a comfortable lifestyle, right? Still take the rest you need to take. Because trust me, if you break down, what will it profit you that you spent all the whole time reading overnight and everything, and then when it's time to write the exam, you don't have a good health to write the exam, and then you have to call in sick, or so you still need to prioritize your health too. But then that does not now give you the luxury of now saying that, okay, fine, I want to go and be playing. No. Rest is different from play. Rest means I want to take a deep breath now. I want to, prioritize. I want to, stay a bit away from the book for now and get something doing so that I can have a sane mind and a clear mind to actually, resume back to it. So you are resting so that you can go back to it. Not that you are resting and you think you are resting, but you are playing, and then you are playing away your time. So always prioritize your health, prioritize your sanity. And then you need to always take a deep breath at every point in time when you feel like you're actually so much occupied with what you're reading, so that you can actually assimilate faster. I think I will just stop there. So to if you are the type that does not ride bicycle,
thank you.
There's something you like doing, there's an hobby that you can do that would help. So I will just stop there.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much, David.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're good now, right, Aisha?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Good. No worries. Good. All right. So yeah, you need sanity to write exams, right? So you have to take care of your body, take care of your mind, ensure that you are intact in one piece so you can write this exam peacefully, right? I think it was Osaro who asked about the plans we have for diaspora candidates. Yes. Mary and David and Uche would testify and tell you we have more students joining us virtually than physically. Our physical space can take just enough. I think Uche will tell you that on the very first day, their level 3 class was full to the door. So we are at the point where for that day, if anybody had come after, we will be turning them back. So physically, we can't take you. You have to go join online. So for, I think it was Osaro asked, yes, we have it's same classes for diaspora candidates right now. We have in plan to create a dedicated diaspora class, but that's not happening this year, right? But for those planning to write from now to February exams, as it is right now, even next year, just join the class. It's the same class. You have access to a mentor like they do. We have a learning management system that works. You have, when you join our classes, you have, apart from the 16 weekends of classes, you have access for 1 year to the recorded classes from when your classes started, right? So you have 1 year access from when your classes started to those recordings. You have access to faculty, just like physical candidates as well. You can make friends and study groups with people in your time zone, people outside your time zone. You can connect with people. It's just the benefit of having that much number of people who are headed in the same direction as yourself, right? I think that community helps as well. So we have students from all over the world. We have students from Hong Kong. We have students from Cairo in Egypt. We have students from Canada. We have from all over the world. They are on that platform, right? So it's important that you are not missing out anything if you are in diaspora. If I were a student, I've said it many times, I would be joining virtually, right? And save commuting time and all that. That's my style. I'm comfortable with working virtually and all that, right? But again, it's you have to make up your mind about that. So thank you very much. So I see, okay, so there's an iPhone user. I wouldn't know your name, but you could
And that's
speak
me.
now. Oh, okay, good.
Hi, hello
So
everyone.
let's take it.
Thanks, David and Uche. I have a question though. I wanted to know what the timing is like for Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday.
Okay, so I must add, and public holidays as well, especially global public holidays, right?
Okay.
Almost global public holidays. But then it's on Fridays for level 1 and level 2 is mostly ethics classes on Fridays. So that happens from about 6:30 or 7 p.m. till 8:30 or 9 p.m. Right? Let's say 6:30 to 8:30 or 7 to 9. Right? That's what happens on Fridays. On Saturdays and Sundays, it's from 9 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. with a 15-minute break every 2 hours and a 1 hour lunch break in the middle of the day. 15-minute break every 2 hours and a 1 hour lunch break in the middle of the day. Saturdays and Sundays, 9 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Right.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's okay. So Wahab, I see Wahab and I see your hands raised. I'm happy to take it on. Hi, Wahab.
Yes, hi. Yes, good evening. Thanks to
Yes, sir.
Uche and David for those insightful, stories regarding the CFA. But I would just, I think the question is more relating to Ayo, and thanks for touching a bit about diaspora. But what I just wanted to add to it, I think I've joined it. This is the second time I'll be joining this call. So apparently, I'm having a feeling that okay, I think it's the time now to jump into the, to jump into the program. But the challenge is that I'm trying to decide, but I'm unsure. I will give you examples. So for someone in the GCC, for example, I think you mentioned Egypt. So I'm not really sure how I will be able to tap into the diaspora program due to significant time zone differences. So for example, I could see that I think I was going through your website and I was seeing for diaspora, I think the classes basically or majorly is Saturday, Sunday. And for someone who, for example, works maybe starts his own working week on Sunday. So I'm just trying to see how fit will I be for the classes. So do you want to provide some context, or is there any way I can explore more of the information so it can help me in deciding
absolutely
time to join the program?
Thank you, Wahab. Yes, thank you, Wahab. So the good thing is we've had candidates successfully complete our program from where you live. So it works, right? So this is what happens. We understand that the time zone would be an issue. So even for the diaspora program we are creating right now, it's where the data points to more people, if you understand what I'm saying. But that doesn't even mean that other time zones will not be at a disadvantage. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
So till forever, it's the limitation of human beings. The time zone will continually be a disadvantage, right? Does it make sense?
Yes.
But so I'm just trying to give some context. But then we will, when things happen, you look at what you have control over and what you do not have control over. effort at the or how do I put it now? I think hard work rather is the effort you make towards what you have control over. Then then worrying rather is what you do towards what you have no control over, if you understand what I'm saying. So until the time when we're able to solve that problem much more largely, what we have decided to do is the time will cater for people who are able to connect to the current time zone, right? And what candidates have done in the past is that they irrespective, some people insist on joining live, so they join live, right? But a whole lot of people will work with the recordings. So there will be some classes where they will join live. Then there will be classes that their schedule will not permit. They will join virtually. They will watch the recordings. But then, this is the value in that. Even for a 4-hour class, someone like Uche or David would attest to you that there is just so much that a teacher can take, even during a 4-hour class, during a 4-hour conversation, right? The real juice, the real value, right, that one should look to extract from this is the fact that you can reach out to faculty after now. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. And this is available for the candidate as well.
I mean, it's for everybody. I mean, I just told you about the candidate who reached out to a teacher at 11:35 p.m. the teacher's time, and he responded. Right. So the worst that can happen is leave a message and they'll get back to you. Does it make sense to you?
True facts. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when you are reaching out to a teacher, you are not saying, I don't understand derivatives. That is pretty ambiguous, right? So you really want to talk about what exactly don't you understand? You understand what I'm saying? In fact, best still would be to address it with a question. If you find a sample question that you struggle with, it will solve and resolve all those issues. But I think that it's priceless that you can access the recordings for 1 year, from when your classes started. And that way you can even work at your own pace, which is actually the value that gives to you. A teacher told me that if we had provided a virtual system during his own time, right? He wrote his exams maybe about 7 years ago, right? Our new system came with the CBT, in 2000 after the COVID era. He said what he would have done is he would never have come physically to any class on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays would have been in study time. Then it would break the 16 hours that happen every weekend into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That would have been his strategy. He will pick it and read on those days. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, he is going to read, solve questions, and consolidate on that learning. Does it make sense to you? Yeah. So when things like this happen, we don't make decisions based on cost, but based on value, right? So it will cost you a lot. It will cost you your sleep. It will cost you time zone wahala, which you don't have control over time zone, right? But then there is what you have control over. There is a value you are pursuing. You want the CFA at the end of your name, at the end of the day. So it's how far can you go to get what you want, if you understand what I'm saying. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Exactly. So jump in, start with the start program, and just start getting yourself ready. Sometimes you might, now that you are aware early enough, or maybe not so early, you can even begin to plan and start thinking of what can happen to my Saturdays and Sundays where you have control over. I know it may be work where you don't have control over, but that's the essence of an information session like this. You just begin to plan ahead, think about all the possible scenarios, what can give way for what. I mean, even the people who are in time zones, they still make a lot of sacrifices. I mean, David was talking about planning his wedding, and he told his fiance had to come to check him severally in school that, is it me you are getting married to, or this CFA exam? Let's know what we are doing. I mean, that's someone who is even living at the local time zone. You understand? And has a wedding coming and is not involved in planning. And that's a story. People have stories. I mean, was it Olayinka? Which you remember Olayinka now? Oyetunji in level 1. She I think she was in America to have a baby. She stopped the taxi and said, take me to class. And the doctor said, are you going to class or to the hospital? Sorry, take me to the exam hall. Is it exam or hospital? Because she was really heavy. An exam day was on her EDD, on an expected date of delivery. How about that?
My God.
Are you there? Exactly. And she didn't say because of the expected date of delivery, she won't go, she won't write exam. She went to write exam praying that the baby doesn't come that day.
That was a great leap of faith.
Exactly. Right. I'm just telling you the extent, and that's just one person. If you hear the stories of charter holders, you'll be amazed the amount of sacrifices people have made. So trust me, you are not alone, but it is how far you are willing to go and how much you are willing to pay for the dream that you want to
Yes,
do.
yes,
Correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Thanks. It has really been very helpful, and we
All
hope
right.
to do David and Uchenna so soon as well.
Please do. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Yeah, bye.
Okay. So I'll just take the ones on the chat. I think, okay, so someone says, okay, Wahab says, I'm in diaspora. I want to write CFA level 1 early 2026. My working week Sunday to Thursday, Asonge Monday to Friday in Nigeria. I would love self-paced learning. Is there any product? Yes, there is self-paced learning. But then let me tell you what the self-paced learning is. So our self-paced learning are pretty much our recorded classes. Now, if you take the self-paced learning, so for example, the class for the May and August exam has ended, right? People that are taking that self-paced learning right now are people that want to write August, who have come to us and say, we want August, and say, we are not running an August class right now, but then there's self-paced, right? It's fine. But for you, I think the explanation I gave just now will suffice because it's just Sunday where you have to work, right? So
Exactly.
yeah, I think you are still good. I think you should join the live program. You don't have anything to lose in the process. We'll hope to, I mean, as more of you pass in all those centers, you can become our ambassadors there and then start new frontiers over there. We'll give you all the resources you need. I don't even need to step my feet in any country to start a program in that country, right? So we would hopefully have new frontiers Middle East, new frontiers Dubai, new frontiers Afghanistan,
That
new
makes sense.
frontiers America. That one I would like to send you to that one. So while I go to the one in America and the UK, right? David will help me go to the one in Iraq, and we'll be fine from there. All right, Uche, don't worry, you are my person. You are going to the UK now, so don't mind all this. Let these guys do the hard work. All right. Okay, so Sonny Abidin says, I like reading with hard copy materials, but it looks like one no longer receive hard copy materials. Oh yeah, you pay for it at the point of registration. If you are interested in hard copy, it will be delivered to your house. Don't even worry about that. It will be delivered. If you want the CFA hard copy material, it will be delivered straight to your house, so it's not a problem at all. Okay. I don't think there's any other question. I think we should begin to call it a wrap tonight. If there's anybody, they would have raised their hands or drop it in the chat, and I can pick it up. But then, I think we've had a fruitful night already. We've had a very impactful session. Oh, okay. I see Taiwo's hands raised. Okay. While I ask Taiwo to unmute and get ready to ask some questions, questions as well for tonight. So Uche and David, you can please start preparing your parting words. What would you say to somebody? So you walk into a party and the person says, I'm planning to write this exam. Right. What would you say to that person? So while you're preparing yourself, Taiwo, please unmute your microphone so I can have you ask your questions. Good evening, Taiwo.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. All right. David, thank you. Uchenna, thank you. Anyway, David, this is Taiwo Ateniola. I don't know. So that's you who know me as
Mr. Taiwo.
All right. So I think now I believe that bicycle is actually yours. I thought it was for the security, but now I know it's yours.
Can you imagine?
So
You've been riding
thank
it.
you very much.
Told you now. I told you that I said I'm get that bicycle. This is a joke. Baba,
I did not
go pay me.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
right,
thank you.
Well done. Our conversations once again. So, Jenna, I want to ask this question. I want to ask you this question. So I'm sorry, Mr. Ayo, thank you very much for hosting.
No, please.
So I'll be writing level 2 exams. I passed level 1 exam. So I've been doing a series of research about the level 2 exam, and most of the people I've heard them speak about the level 2 exam said it's quite very voluminous, and I had maybe twice as much as level 1 or something like that. But what I would like to hear from you is how you're able to commit that voluminous material to memory. Um, like my program to said that you scale through level 1, mistakenly, blah blah blah, level 2 will kill you or something like that. So how are you able to do it? How were you able to commit it to memory? How did you break it down, maybe into silos and were able to commit it to memory? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Taiwo, I think I'll still, in fact, I think not passing that first exam was one of my major strengths because it just, I don't know, for some reason, I always, when I got to level 2, I was thankful that I did not pass the first one. Because when I went back to write it, I had to bend down and do the groundwork. So it's also important in level 1 to have done a good job in level 1. That will now help in level 2. So yeah, level 2 is quite voluminous. It's actually very, so you see one reading and it's about 100 pages. I think there are some 80 pages, so long, but it was more of calculations. If I remember right, it was more of calculations. And if you can follow the if you can follow the calculations, maybe it will be easy. I read, David said he can read for 8 hours stretch. I mean, I can do 12 hours, I can do 16 hours. That's me. And I don't think I usually, maybe it's personal, like I said, it's a personal journey. I don't usually have like brain, whatever freeze. I can just go on and just keep going. Okay, so that helped me to cover, that helped me to cover a lot of, volume, a lot of materials within the time I had. And this one thing about New Frontiers is that, like, when I was reading, like when I was even rereading the curriculum in level 1, and as I'm reading, I'm now seeing my teacher, and I'll be like, oh, that's what this guy was saying. That's what this guy was saying that time. Maybe I wasn't really, so everything was coming together. So, let me give you one of my strategies. I think I've forgotten to mention this. Even now, I'm doing it in level. Once it was every week, around Thursday for the next class. What I do is, once I see the timetable, I start like preparing, I start reading. Then after the class, I go back immediately. And during the week, within that week, because we do about maybe 4 courses in one weekend, that's 4 readings. I try my best to just, because it's still fresh, the class, they just finished teaching you. So I go in immediately and I start reading. I'll try to read it fast, but because I've been in class and I try to pay attention, you have to also pay attention. So because I've paid attention in class, once I'm reading, I'm kind of faster. So I'm reading because the teacher has said it, he has explained it, except for maybe, it's not everything you will get. The ones I don't get, is either I leave it and I take note. I have my timetable. So for each one, I have what I call gray areas. I noted that almost this particular thing is not entering. Even if I don't get to ask the teacher, which I might not do, I will go and ask my classmates, I beg, can you explain this? Or I go back and I try to, or I Google it. So I just find a way. But I note the ones I don't know so that I don't waste time on them, because sometimes some people start wasting time on something they don't really understand, and then time will be gone, or they get discouraged. I don't get discouraged. What I do is I just leave it. If it bad too much, I'll tell myself, this one no go come off exam. Don't follow me, but I'll just be like, see, this one question or this one topic is not what will make me fail. So what I mean is I focus on the ones I know, so I'm faster, so I grab a lot of it at the same time. Then I keep solving questions, very important. So I just keep solving and solving and solving, because sometimes when you solve question, it not even helps you to understand the topic as a whole. I think that's one of the things that helped me to cover ground or to gain ground when I was reading within the time I had. And I think I also had I had time a bit. And let me not lie, I was serious. I had to leave everything. Like, I don't think I was gonna be riding bicycle. That time I used to ride bicycle, I used to read. So I was just always reading, except I'm sleeping, because I like to sleep a lot. I've mentioned it. If I'm tired, I'll sleep. But once I wake up, so I just dropped a lot of other things. But sleep was important to me, because I have to. In fact, sometimes when I'm reading, I doze off, so I just sleep. But when I wake up, I continue. If I'm not at work, I'm reading. It was either reading, work, or sleep for me for those period, so those were the things I was doing. No, then phone, phone can be distracting. And you can go on Instagram and you see that you spend 2 hours, or you don't know. But if it's time to read, you now know that you're spending time. So I realized that those were distractions. So I removed all those things, as in I kind of blocked them somehow, especially when it's closer to the exam time, like when I start my leave. So when I start my leave, I call it marathon. I'm going marathon. Now 4 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the one I'm doing, is marathon. I already know that, oh yeah, Uche, let's do this. After these 3 weeks is over, Abi. So I go for it and I hit it. So I'm spending maybe I'm sleeping 6 hours in a day. The remaining one is reading. Of course, breaks in between. I can take a walk around the place or all of that. So I think that's how I was able to gain ground. Thank you. Sayo, are you there? Sorry, Taiwo.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
David, maybe you can add one or two. I don't know. You're muted.
I said you actually killed it, right? So, I'm writing level 2 in November. So, me say, I just, as they talk, I just the right time. You see the way I was not in my head. And so I think this call is also for me too, right? And I think what you said, actually, I'm also going to make use of everything you said. Thank you very much. That was helpful. Thank you. I think Ayo is no more on the call. Though. Network has
I'm here now.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. So, it's even good we are wrapping up right now. So, but thank you very much. And by the way, congratulations to you, to Taiwo Ateniola. That was past level 1 too. I think, yeah. I think you wrote the same time with you too, David. You were in the same class.
Yeah, my classmates.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So, thank you guys. Thank you very much. You've helped tonight. Thank you for value added. Thank you for showing up for us. So what then? Closing words to someone planning to write the exams. Please let me tell them that they should not be afraid. The exam doesn't bite. That the future is theirs for the taking.
Yes. For my closing word, I would say, guys, the attention you gave to this call, give the same attention to this exam and you kill it. You will kill it. So meaning go through. So I saw people, putting down points from what we've said and, bringing, reminiscing with what we're saying. And it just means that you are so much interested in this call and you want to really take out points. And then that same attention, if you give it to your CFA, trust me, you are close to passing already. So don't be scared. If I meet you at a party and you ask me that, what should I do to write CFA exam? I'll tell you, don't be in this party, leave the party and go and be reading. Let me enjoy the party myself. You can go and read. But then that's just a joke. But trust me, it's not a difficult exam and it's not an easy exam too. So it depends on how you approach it. And then the approach you want to give it, for people that have success story about the exam, the approach they give it is the consistency, the discipline. It was coming out from what I said. Discipline and consistency were coming out from what I said, even from Uchenna, who has more experience than me, because of course she's writing level 3 already. So that consistency, that discipline, that long time that you need to spend it. And then trust me, carry everybody along that you are writing CFA, even your work, your colleagues at work. With that, you get some spare time that you need to get. Your wife, your husband, if you are the one that is married, they need to be in support. Trust me, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I actually mentioned my wife that she was instrumental to me passing. It doesn't mean that she taught me but then the fact that she could leave me to go and read, she didn't disturb, she understood what the goal was and she was in line with me. So everybody that you are actually responsible to, you need to let them be on the same page with you, right? So that distraction will be limited, very, very limited. And even your employer, your line manager, do you understand that you think, for someone who work in an organization that they encourage career growth and development, you can let them know they're writing this exam, and they will give you those, time that you need to study and everything. So make sure everybody that is around you is on the same page with you, and then so you don't get distracted. Then you attack it with the fact that you want to pass it. Don't be scared about it. Don't look, some people, when you want to read a book and you see that it's 1,000 pages, this one is too much, I'm not more, If you have that mindset, you can't go anywhere. Trust me, though that 1,000 pages, it's not that when you ask me what's on page 97, I could tell you before I wrote my exam, I could not tell you. But the fact that I read them and I understood them and I solved questions only helped me. It's not that maybe I had all the whole 1,000 pages of FSC in my head to pass the exam. No, nobody had it in their head to pass the exam. Do you understand? So attack it with a positive mindset, and then trust me, you will pass the exam. I think that's for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Uche.
So my parting words will be, CFA is a journey, not just a journey, it's a personal journey. We all probably might have the same kind of stories or relatable stories, but at the end of the day, the journey is personal. CFA is not something you begin to compare yourself with whoever you're writing with. Just focus on, don't look at everybody. You don't even know the people study different. Like I said, I can do 12, 16, 20 hours. Some people cannot do it. So it's your journey. You need to focus on it. Understand yourself, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, believe in yourself. You can do it, okay? And know what works for you. So if you have a winning strategy or a working strategy, go with it, ride with it. And I don't know the people on this call, but if you're someone that over the years you've been thinking, should I write, should I not write? Uchenna, I'm encouraging you to start it, because if anybody had told me that by now I'll be in level 3, I might not have believed it. I've been having CFA in my head for the past 10 years. It was one day when I decided, okay, I think it's time to just even start this thing. And then I remember the day I walked into New Frontiers. I just waka come, but from day one, and I said, okay, I can do this actually. Okay. And then I started. So, and even if for any reason, even me that is writing in August, I don't even know if I'll pass. I'm just saying it's CFA is a pass or do not pass. So there's no, we all do probability. And I think second reading of cons in level 1. So it's a 50-50 chance. Is either you pass or you don't pass. I remember the day our lecturer said, out of this class, some people will not pass. I was saying, God forbid, God forbid. At the end of the day, I did not pass. So even if for whatever reason you write this exam and you did not pass, I encourage you to try again. Try again. Even my friend that passed in August level 3, that was her second, I think, a bit third time of even writing it. But she has passed now. She's a charter holder, meaning that once you start this journey, make sure you see it to completion. Don't leave it halfway. I know people that wrote level 1 7 years ago. Till today, they are still saying, I wish. So I always tell anybody, if you've written before, maybe you have level 1, continue. Just keep at it and go. Then if you've been thinking it in your head, you've not even started, please just start. Put in the discipline, like David has said, consistency. You will see that in a few years, 3 years, 4 years, you will be a charter holder, so that would be my parting words. I wish everybody on this call that is interested in CFA will end up being a charter holder at the end of the day. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you very much for David. And someone would say, one thing someone on the outside, on the other side, would say is that you guys make it sound so simple. But it's what it is. If it's difficult, you will say. If it is, okay, yes, it's difficult. But if it's impossible, that's the word, you will say. Am I correct? But then you know that it's only difficult, it's not impossible. And the truth is, who wants to earn a certification that when somebody looks at it is what everybody else has? Who wants that kind of certification? Who wants the kind of certification that even after you have done as long as you have chosen this industry, finance and investment, there is no other gold standard globally. And why not just do what, if you find yourself in any part of the world, you do not need to take a special exam or something you already have the global license in your hand. It's like a green card for your career, if you understand what I mean. Right. So a CFA is a CFA. You do not, there's no that exam required, except maybe there are local things. And if you ever have to write any exam for local laws, it's probably one paper or just an induction or something somewhere. But hey, if there are, I think that if there are 200,000 people in the world who have the CFA designation, out of about 7 or 8 billion people, I think that is priceless. And then if there is an organization that makes that possible, makes that simple, I think that's equally priceless as well. So I think that you should join the winning team. And let me even say, from every standpoint, if you want to write exams, start now. If you are thinking of the fees, it will cost more. This is the cheapest it will ever be. That's the truth. You can't. And when the institute comes and says our exam is $3,000, there is nothing anybody will do. There's nothing. If you carry placard, it won't count. They are not. They are not bothered by that, right? They understand that what they have is gold standard, and you see, everyone sets goals, but only leaders set standards. The CF Institute is in a class of its own, right? And I think, and what we are saying is, we can have more people. I believe when someone asks me about what I do, I say I'm the largest single producer of CFA charter holders in this continent. There's nobody that produce charter holders like me. No, right? That's the work I do.
Take your
You
flowers.
understand?
Take your
That's
flowers.
what I do. I produce charter holders. I know. I mean, I give it back to God. You understand? But it's my flower. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what we do, right? Somebody somewhere, and like you all said, you've heard about it for a long time ago. I know there's someone on this call who has seen colleagues who has heard about it. I will do it tomorrow. I'll do it next year. From every standpoint, if the exam is tough now, this is the easiest it will be. I'm sure you all know that when the computer base started, I mean, I know people who said, I knew level 3, but I failed it because I could not type fast. The person has not written again now, but the person is going to write. I get what I'm saying? I know people who said I heard about it 10 years ago. I want to come back to write. It's not joke. They are in class. So if you think you are things are difficult, life is busy right now, this is the easiest it will be. When you get married, have children, when you even grow at work, right? You're now a member of the board, or you are a CEO, you are a CFO. The kind of expectations that the world has from you at that level is different. So there is no better time than now to be a charter holder in our world today. I mean, the world even have a lot of financial questions. People are going to be depending a lot on finance professionals. I think that there is no better time than now to be a part of the world and to be among 200,000 people in a world of a class of 20,000 people in a world of 7 billion. I think that's enough motivation to jump on the CFA charter. It's a beautiful journey, right? I'm wishing you all the best. We are rooting for you. If you require any support, please reach out to us. We are able to help. We're always excited to help you on this journey. This is what we do. This is what we live for. And we're excited to do this every single time. So thank you, Uche. Thank you, David. I think this has been one of the best sessions I've had. I must tell you that. You did so well. This is beautiful. And Uche, I'm looking forward to bringing you back at level 3, right? When you have passed your exams, which you will pass by God's grace. And David, back for level 2, when you have passed your exams, which you will by God's grace. And thank you everyone for joining. The most important thing will be to take action to make that move today, right? And do what you need to do. If we have all this and it's just talk, not good for us. If you know someone who can benefit from this, please copy the link on YouTube, send it to them. It will be available almost immediately after this call. It was recorded live. I'm wishing you all the very best and see you in class, which I'm seeing you literally tomorrow in class, right? So yours is literally in class tomorrow. So, but for the rest of you, see you in class, and that's very soon, I believe, right? Thank you very much, and good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Ayo. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, good night, Uche. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night, David. Thank you. Please regards to your lovely wife.
Thank you, sir.
New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.